Arg, here be a story about a pirate. More specifically, No Apache the pirate. He was the captain of the bodacious Barnacle, the most feared ship and crew since the Stinky Onion. One day, while in his captain's quarters, a crew member gave No Apache an apple to eat for lunch. Little did No Apache know, it was a bad apple. He sunk his rotten teeth deep into the side of the apple. Immediately, he could taste the rancid, putrid flavor. He spat out the chunk of spoiled apple directly onto the floor of his quarters. Erupting with anger, he ran out onto the deck and yelled at his crew, "Arr! Come clean up this mess!" Within seconds, a crew member was in his quarters, cleaning the recently dirtied floor. The crew member saw the shiny booty, and with a smirk on his face, knew he had outwitted his captain. All the treasure and gold was his for the taking.
So let's rewind to how the events of No Apache's misfortune relate to an attack using the Jakarta multi-part parser vulnerability with the Apache Struts 2 framework. In essence, No Apache is your vulnerable Apache web server. The crew member is a hacker. The apple is the hacker's input containing code the hacker is using to infiltrate the server. The error message is the spat out apple. Having the crew member clean up the mess is how the vulnerable Apache versions handle the error. The updated versions do not allow the crew members in, but rather clean up the apple themselves. This vulnerability ultimately allows for remote code execution, or RCE, on the vulnerable web server. In the case of Equifax, which waited months to apply Apache's fixes to their systems, attackers executed code on the servers that exfiltrated 143 million credit card numbers and other personally identifiable information in one of the largest and most severe data breaches in history. RCE attacks can result in databases being misused, malware being installed, and hardware being compromised, bringing your organization to its knees. So what can you do? First, implement and follow a security framework. We recommend using an internal control framework like COBIT 5 or the NIST cybersecurity framework to create policies that would prevent attacks. These policies include regular updates and asset inventory to track affected technologies. By having this framework in place, you are given policies to keep these systems updated and secure. Second, if you do not currently have a system backup, create one immediately. Then, often and consistently, update your backup. This allows you to restore your information in the case of an emergency. Lastly, and most importantly, follow the acronym Always be updating. Having a framework will help, but it is vital to have a person or team designated to check for Apache updates on a regular basis. As patches arise, update the system as soon as possible. This will prevent many known vulnerabilities and dissuade hackers.
Be like Apache the pirate. Use a patch. Be confident in your own ability to clean up the rotten apple.
We kidnap and ravage and don't give a hoot. Bring up me hearties, yo ho! Yo ho, a pirate's life for me.